If you want to stop overeating and finally have a healthy relationship with food and your body, listen up. This video is for you. Once you truly understand why you are overeating and what triggers this, then you can finally solve this problem. And I know you'll want to have the solution right away, but imagine your body like a car for a moment. And your car needs the right fuel. And if you just put any liquid inside of your car and hope that it will work, then you risk losing a lot of time until you're lucky enough to finally pick the right one at some point. And don't worry, like with the car example, you don't have to be an expert. You just have to understand the basics. That when you take your car to the gas station, then you just need to know what fuel it needs and have a basic understanding. You don't have to be a mechanic or whatever. And the same applies to eating habits. I will also just provide you with the basics in order for you to understand what you truly need. So I'm not a goddess or savior because I cannot save or rescue anyone. I see myself more like someone who guides women on their journey of making peace with food and their bodies, ultimately with themselves. So I give them the tools and kind of golden nuggets. But at the end of the day, we're all adults and responsible for ourselves. So I will give you some insights. Now I also work with clients who want to then apply and implement these to their lifestyle, because this is just a part of the whole puzzle piece, but one of the central ones, because you have to understand the following. If you cannot stop overeating, it's probably because there's something lacking. You might be thinking, okay, I'm hungry for something or need something. There must be an underlying need. But what is it that you truly need? Because most of us, it's not that we need the food. We have enough calories. It can be the case, but there are also other needs that are really basic, but we don't tend to be aware of. So let me break these down for you. So the first one is, of course, food. I touched upon this. So there's the physical hunger, and of course we can overeat, for example, as a result of restricting or dieting. So if we were under eating for some time, we might get really hungry. It can happen very often after a diet. And at some point, if you didn't eat enough calories, then you might just end up overeating. It's your body trying to survive, essentially, when you're starving. So it's about how much you ate. If it's not enough, it can trigger overeating, but also what you ate. So maybe you didn't get enough nutrients, like micronutrients such as vitamins and minerals. They're important for your system, but also macronutrients, which include fats and proteins, carbs, and fiber. Something I see very often is people lack fiber in their diet. It's mostly in whole, unprocessed foods, and they give you the sense of being full and staying full for some time. If you have a lot of processed foods in your diets and lack fiber, this also might make you overeat, especially because they add all these things that can make food quite addictive. So be careful with that. But except for like proper physical hunger, the other reason that I see very often in my clients, it's the emotional hunger, which tends to be the result of being very stressed or overwhelmed. And when you're in this stressed state, you tend to enter survival mode, like stress response is triggered in your system. This can look like hyperactivation, and these people then tend to describe themselves, for example, as feeling anxiety or anger or restlessness. Their heart beating fast and they're super nervous and maybe cannot be still. They have just so much activation in their system, and then food can help to calm you down. While there's also hypoactivation. It means, for example, if you're sad, depressed, feeling really down, then maybe with food you're subconsciously trying to feel something again, to get some energy back, get out of this hole in a way. So what you have to know with that is stress is often the result or amplified by an underlying belief that you're alone in this world and that this world is an unsafe place. And this belief, it tends to be stored in the subconscious mind, and it tends to go hand in hand with another belief that you don't have sufficient resources or capacity to cope with the stress. So like, oh my god, this is too much, I cannot handle this, I cannot do this, and all this stuff. And then you try to soothe yourself or numb yourself with food in a way. And another one, side note, we also often learn this kind of numbing ourselves or escaping in childhood when we observed other close people doing the same, like emotional eating, or when we had an experience, let's say your parents were fighting and you got super anxious and stressed. You were hiding in your room and had some food, like some pack of cookies maybe, and were eating it and started to feel more calm and better. Then you might have also learned or got this as a template. Now you use it to similar strategies. When you have a feeling also of being stressed or overwhelmed, your subconscious remembers that in the past food helped to feel more calm again, and then you just copy this to new situations now as well. So something that's good to know in this case. But of course, overeating can also be the result of underlying medical conditions that I won't address here, or also be connected to alcohol or drug intake or whatever, or stimulants, but I'm also not going too much into this. But emotional hunger can go together with physical hunger, that then can be super difficult to navigate. And so it's important to make sure that your body gets enough food and nutrients throughout the day, so that then you have more resources or stability to navigate through stress and overwhelm, because being very hungry, it's also a source of stress for your body. So this was the first need for food, and also kind of the need for safety that going along with this. Another one is the need for rest. So for example, it can happen that you push yourself too much during the day, and for example, don't take any breaks. Something I used to be very guilty of in the past. By the way, it's not a proper break if you just scroll on your phone, or if you're tired and then eat to get energy. It distracts you from the stress or tiredness, whatever you experience, or exhaustion, but it doesn't really replenish your resources. It doesn't bring you into true regulation. It's a way of distracting, for example. And for a proper rest, what I love is yoga nidra. If you didn't hear about it, you can check out some videos on my channel. It don't need even a lot of time. Some are as short as 10 or 15 minutes. It can be a quick reboot for your nervous system. And the next need is for connection or belonging. So as humans, we are social beings, and we need this connection to others. We need community, somewhere where we can have authentic relationships, where we can bring online our true self, where we can give and receive love and compassion, And for example, when you're judging yourself for overeating and creating more stress and other negative emotions, then you can easily fall into a cycle of numbing these again. With food, you might feel ashamed, judge yourself, and also isolate yourself, or not go to social gatherings because you're afraid that others will judge you or what you're eating or how you look in a way. So they are often also connected. Another one, it's also the need for self-expression, that you can be who you truly are and embrace and express your true nature. I believe that also a big part of life is to remember who we are and to come back home to our true selves. And I think you are who you are for a reason, and that the gifts you have, they're meant to be shared and given with others. But yeah, in order to do so, we also have to first feel safe again. It's kind of the underlying foundation, to be safe, have food, have water, something like shelter, and then if you and also rest or sleep, and these very basics are met. Also to have connection, sense of belonging, and then express yourself fully. So yeah, it's important to bring the awareness and check in with yourself consciously. If you meet these right now in your day-to-day life, or maybe where you don't meet them, like what it is that you truly need, maybe rest, maybe connection, more safety, maybe you're really hungry, maybe you want to be more authentic. Whatever it is, it's also a journey of getting to know yourself better. And to summarize this, there are 5 key points, or 5, take a checklist, 5 things need to happen in order to stop overeating. And the first is to make sure your body is nourished sufficiently. And a meal prep or meal plan can also help with that, such as working with nutritionists, which we also have in our team because of that. Then it's important to build nervous system capacity and the resources so you can cope with stress and big emotions in a healthy way and bring yourself back to true regulation, safety or comfort zone without depending on food, for example. And making time for self-care and rest to recharge before your batteries are completely empty on 0%. This is quite important, as well as healthy boundaries, so you can protect your nervous system from too much or unnecessary stress, to reconnect with your true self compassionately. So it's a journey of recovering and expressing your true self unapologetically. And yeah, like this, you will also attract authentic connections and a community. I mean, there's the saying, your vibe attracts your tribe. I think it's kind of true. And yeah, a bonus is to improve your relationship with fear, because this is important to recover and express who you are, to overcome fear. And you do this by cultivating safety and trust within yourself and connecting with yourself. The better you know yourself, the more confident you can be in expressing all these different parts of your personality. So I hope this was helpful, and now you know which kind of fuel your car needs or your body. And I invite you to ask this question: what do I truly need? Repeatedly, I ask myself this question all the time, because life is dynamic and so many things keep changing. We also change, so it's not like every day looks the same. I think this is also beautiful. So be gentle with yourself, be curious, and see you very soon.